Now, another interesting question that crops up is: suppose she continued being a vocalist. I mean, she would be as talented as a vocalist as a Surbahar player.
100%.
Ali Akbar Khan went on record to say she would have been Lata Mangeshkar if she continued singing.
Wow. Why did she marry Ravi Shankar?
She was
Not
asked
by
to
her
get
choice. Not by
married.
her
It was
choice.
an arranged marriage.
I know. Did she fall in love with Panditji after marriage?
Of course. Pandit Ravi Shankar was a charmer, good-looking, handsome man.
Yeah, he was.
Plus a good musician.
And he had traveled the world.
Yeah, and
He was-
plus a good musician.
We also heard about how Panditji fell ill in Bombay and how Ma sold her ornaments to look after him.
That is where Panditji requested Ma that you should play with me, you should join my group.
When the audiences and the critics were kind of always praising Ma's performances more than Panditji's.
It was the single biggest reason.
This was one of the main reasons of their rift
One
and
of
their
the many.
separations.
One of the many. And the extramarital affairs was a big disaster for Ma.
How did Ma react to it initially? What was her way of saying this is not okay with me?
She cut off the physical relationship with Panditji. And Kamala was already living in Pavlova with Ma.
Taking you back to where you said Panditji brought Kamala to Pavlova when Ma was there.
Yes, they were living there. So it was bigamy, meaning not official. And the best part, another woman also came.
Okay.
3 women in one house. Think about it, and Ma tolerated all this for Shubho. Please understand all this, I couldn't have written in the book.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Pathbreakers. Today we are at Annapurna Devi's residence, the famous 6A Akash Ganga. This is the house where she taught illustrious disciples and illustrious musicians like Nikhil Banerjee, Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia, Ustad Ashish Khan, Ustad Dhyanesh Khan, Pandit Nityanand Haldipur, as well as Vasant Kabra. Today we are fortunate enough, and I am honored to have 2 of her favorite disciples who not only watched her very closely, but who was there till her very end. Presenting the very talented Pandit Nityanand Haldipur, who is a flute maestro as well as the winner of the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, along with Atul Merchant, who is a sarod player as well as the author of the book on Annapurna Devi titled Annapurna Devi, The Untold Story of a Reclusive Genius. When we have such illustrious musicians with us today, it would be a criminal waste not to hear a few minutes of the renditions of their respective instruments. So we will start with that.
The
We will start by introducing our guest today, Pandit Nityanand Haldipur and Atul Merchant ji. Thank you for being on this show with us.
Thank you.
We would start with Annapurna ji and her childhood. Her relationship with Baba Allauddin Khan, who himself was such an illustrious musician and have, trained so many of illustrious musicians himself. So let's start with the relationship he had with Baba.
It was a very respectful and loving relationship between the both. And Ma being a child and Baba being her father and Guru also, she was in awe of this personality and this saintly
Yeah.
man. So it was a very, very respectful relation between the two. And Baba's word was a last thing in her life. Even her old age, when she used to take bath, she used to boil the water herself on the stove and carry it in the
Oh, really?
bathroom. So I used to ask, and washing her clothes herself. So I used to ask her, Ma, you have this washing machine with you. Why don't you use that? And when there is a gas or geyser in your
Yeah.
bathroom,
Yeah.
why don't you use that geyser? She said, no, because Baba has told me to wash my clothes and I'm washing my clothes myself. What Baba has said is the final word for me.
So she continued with the practice that Baba used to
Yeah.
do in her, basically.
No, what she was told, regardless of the time and context. You know, she was so obedient. You know, she was an epitome of total unconditional surrender to her guru and her father. That helped her in her music and this thing. But if you see in today's context, you know, it's something unbelievable.
We know, we have heard enough stories about Baba teaching her and Ali Akbar Khan and Ravi Shankar. So was she Baba's favorite disciple?
Baba didn't have favoritism. Favoritism is not the right word, but yes, Panditji and Ma were very obedient and a strict adherer to the instruction. Ali Akbar Khan was an extremely different personality. He was rebellious, he was master of lateral thinking, you know, and very naughty, very witty. So Baba loved him equally, meaning there is no doubt about it, but Baba was very angry and very hostile on Ali compared to Panditji and Ma. So, if that's the comparison, yes. And Baba used to tease Ali by giving sweets to Ma. कि देखो ये अच्छा ये करती है तेरे को कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. So this triggered a sibling rivalry. Both were very young, and Khan Sahib used to beat up Guru Ma, Annapurna Devi. And at the fag end of his life, during his last visit when he came here to this house, in front of me, he folded his hands like this. इनके बचपन में मैं तुझे मारता था, मुझे माफ कर दो.
Oh.
And he was crying. She was crying and I was in tears.
I can imagine. Yeah. While you're bringing this out, I have heard interviews where you have mentioned that Baba Allauddin Khan taught the teachings or the Guru Vidya, which he had learned from Wazir Khan, only to Ma. He passed that only to Ma. So would you want to talk a little more on that?
Yeah, Wazir Khan Sahib was the 8th descendant from Tansen, you know, and his Baj was the Binkar Ang. So Baba, of course, you know, to play on Sarod was very difficult. So Baba took up Swar Singar, and very similar to Rudravina, because Rudravina was forbidden because his kids were playing Rudravina. So not to be a rival, not to compete with his sons, Wazir Khan Sahib's sons. So he started playing Binkar Ang on Sur Singar, and he taught Ma Surbahar because he wanted to teach that Baj to her.
Because Baba thought that she is not after the publicity and so obedient that she will keep that Vidya in pure form. So he told her that I want to give this Guru's Vidya to you. You will not get applause from the audience. You may sometimes get tomatoes also on your face. Are you ready to accept that? She said,
Rotten
yes, Baba,
tomatoes.
if you wish, I'll accept that. If you want to teach that, I'll accept.
See, that Baj is basically Drupad Baj. Rigved and Samved are same. Samved is nothing but Rigved, but in a musical form. So it was a very much a spiritual music. And Drupad came from that. Now, it was not meant for entertainment. It was meant for enlightenment. So who would be the right person to keep that legacy. So Baba chose Ma because she had no desire for the worldly success and fame and name and
Yeah,
she
I mean
was
the right words that I think you were to use words from the book that you have no greed.
Greed.
So that's why I will pass on the Vidya of
Yes.
my Guru to you.
And he knew that she would keep it pure.
Absolutely. To keep it in the purest form. Absolutely. To carry on the legacy in its purest form. Yeah. For her, music was sadhana. Right? So she, despite in the words, I mean, to use a very colloquial word, उसमें मिलावट नहीं करती थी. She used to keep it to the purest form.
Meaning
Was that what made her music so different from the others? Unique from the other players?
in a way, yes. Yes. Nitya.
Yes, because she treated it as a sadhana. To give you example, she always used to, I mean, whenever I play, she told me this is a sadhana. And when you sit for the sadhana
Yeah.
in front of a god, you don't make any faces or this body language or something like that. You just close your eyes and pray for him. So what I'm giving you is the music of my guru is as pure as sadhana, as pure as worship. So
Yeah.
you should be playing with that feeling that you are doing sadhana and your prayers to the God. And that's why she told me to keep it like within, play for one within everybody. ऐसा बता के. So since that moment I forgot about the audience, how many sitting, how many listening, and I try to keep that words in my mind and try to play. And that is the thing which people may not like it, because people are so used to the having expression
The
from
applause and the audience reaction.
looks and give expression as something extraordinary happening. So once out of this context, once I asked her also, when I go and play, people expect me that being your student, I should be copy of Hari Prasad ji.
Correct.
So why don't you teach me? Will you teach me of that style of playing? So she said, why? She laughed. I said, don't you understand the value of this, what I am giving you? He is a different person. You
Yeah.
are a different person. What I am giving you is a very serious music.
Correct.
And I think she was the only person after Baba who taught every disciple according to their nature, according to their Atma.
The personality.
Personality.
It was tailor-made for every disciple. Be it Baba, be it Ma. The same gat, the same rag would be taught differently to different disciples, according to his or her personality, the way Ma judged them.
And also the capacity of to
And the
which they
capacity,
can.
of course.
Yeah.
What Nikhil Bhattacharya's Tayyari, meaning nobody in the world had that Tayyari.
Yeah.
So it can't be same.
There's also a little incident that we hear from our childhood that she started as a vocalist, then she had a tonsillitis surgery, and that's when Baba shifted her to sitar.
She started as young as 5-year-old. It's too young an age to start any instrument. Anyway, every musician in our Gharana and other Gharanas too, even the instrumentalists start with tal and vocal. And then they switch on to instrument if the voice, the throat quality, the voice quality is not good enough to be singer. Ma was a singer till her tonsillitis surgery. After the tonsillitis surgery, the doctor said not to sing till the scars are healed. But Baba didn't understand. So Baba thought the singing is forbidden. She became very good. So doctor once came for some reason. He was singing. You forbid her to sing. They said, no, only for 1 month. By this time, she had advanced so much in sitar playing. At that time, there was not a single female instrumentalist. So Baba said, okay, now you are doing so well in sitar, let's continue.
And she was the only female Surbahar player.
And she was the first instrumentalist of
Female
that prominence.
instrumentalist, and also I think the only female Surbahar player.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else who
Never.
played the Surbahar after her?
Not
or before her?
After. Never.
Yeah. Now, another interesting question that crops up is: suppose she continued being a vocalist. I mean, she would be as talented as a vocalist as a Surbahar player.
100%.
As you
100%.
know, I was writing, meaning it didn't complete. I was writing Ali Akbar Khan Saab's biography. Ali Akbar Khan went on record to say she would have been Lata Mangeshkar if she continued singing.
Wow.
That's what Ali Akbar Khan said, and he knew what music is.
And that was the quality of her voice also.
Wow.
Till quite an advanced age, she sang so well.
When she taught you, she taught playing the instrument, or she taught you while singing the notations?
She taught singing. Because what happens is, according to her, when if she would play on the instrument, people would like to copy that.
Ah.
And there are many nuances which come from the voice, cannot be reproduced on instrument sometimes. So that will be a challenge to reproduce the same nuances coming from the voice. So she always insisted that.
And another, she had taken the vow not to play in front of anyone, not even disciples. So
she did not play in front of disciples either. So she
No.
taught singing, vocally.
she was excellent singer. Excellent singer. She had no problem.
Okay. Why did she marry Ravi Shankar?
She was
Not
asked
by
to
her
get
choice.
It was an arranged marriage
I know.
between Uday Shankar, the elder brother of Panditji, and Baba. So she had no say. Nobody even asked her. You know.
So Baba never asked her whether
No, in those
Baba
days,
just gave her word.
Which
Gave
era we
his
are
word,
talking
rather.
about? Which era
Yeah,
we are
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
Because once I asked her, what was your reaction when you came to know about your marriage with Ravi Shankar? So she said, well, I had no concept of marriage because I was brought up in the company of my bhaiya.
Correct.
And that marriage and this was not there. We like a brother and sister playing. So that marriage concept was never there.
See, one thing you have to realize about both Ali Akbar Khan and Annapurna Devi, the entire childhood, they never left Maihar.
God.
Just understand this. And Ma never left Madina Bhavan. Once in, say, a few days, Maharaja's daughter would send the horse chariot
Yeah.
or the car to fetch Annapurna Devi to play with her in the palace. Now, that's the only exposure of a person till her marriage.
Yeah.
After
what-
marriage.
And what happened was, she was brought up in the total musical atmosphere. There was no chance for other entertainment kind of a thing. So only 24 hours in music, so no time to think of other things.
So the riyaz went on for 16 to
Yeah.
18
Yeah.
hours a day.
16 hours riyaz and 2 hours of kitchen.
Did she fall in love with Panditji after marriage?
Of course. Meaning till her dying day.
Of course, Pandit Ravi Shankar was a charmer, good-looking, handsome man,
Yeah, he was.
plus a good musician.
And he had traveled the world.
Yeah, and
He was-
plus a good musician.
He
So
was extremely sharp. Extremely.
So
It was
she was,
impossible for anyone not to fall in love with Panditji when he is his. Till her
and
dying
for
day.
Panditji also, it was like, her music was something out of this world. Anybody will be zapped with that music. And he
So you
couldn't-
are saying that Panditji, after marriage, even Panditji
Yeah, he
fell
was
in love with her?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, very much, very
Yeah.
much. It was a love affair till the problem started,
Yeah, that's my next
it was a very
question.
good, yeah, but till her dying day, Panditji was the only person she had loved, first and last.
She would keep looking at the photographs.
In her last days, and,
And
she
then-
had lost the sense of timing. She remembered the days when they were together, and she would ask us, पंडित जी आ गए,
Yeah.
पंडित जी खाना खाया, कैसा कंसर्ट गया, उनको डिस्टर्ब मत करो, उनको सोने दो. पंडित जी had died 6-7 years ago.
So, I mean, till her last days, you're saying Panditji was the only person she loved.
I wish Panditji knew about this.
Yeah. Maybe he knew, I don't know.
No.
He didn't care.
That comes to the next question of mine. What went wrong? Was it only because she was a superior player? Or was it was Panditji's other women in his life which started causing the rift?
I think it's all both combined.
Much before any other woman entered Panditji's life, the rift had started. Soon after the marriage, Ma was invited to perform at Maharaja's palace. Now Ma was invited. He was not invited. So Baba took her, and as they were living, he also, I want to join.
Correct.
Now, in those days, son-in-law is, meaning you can't,
Yeah.
you have to
Say
be,
no to.
Yeah. So they were just shocked what to do. So he also said. And she played for almost 1 hour. Almost 1 hour she played. And the way we remember, it was Rag Shri. And Maharaja was in tears. And as she was concluding her recital, Maharaja's assistant came and waved that the dinner time, and some guest some state guests were there. It was the Second World War time. Just think about it. So Baba just asked her to conclude. She concluded, and Baba gave a lot of gold, some land.
The Maharaj gave a lot.
Maharaj gave a lot of land, gold, and all these gifts. And as he was living, Panditji told Maharaja, he addressed him directly, "Mera bhi sun lijiye." So Maharaja was a bit taken aback, but he came back and he heard him for some 10-15 minutes and he just walked off. So Panditji didn't get any gift, any gold, any land, nothing, and Maharaja walked away. So Panditji felt very insulted. And that initiated the rift between the husband and wife.
That was the initiation of the process. I mean, I think that was the
Yes.
first time
At
we
that
saw
time-
the fissures
at
in
that
their
time,
relationship.
There was no other woman in Panditji's life, meaning some flings and this and that and flirting, okay, we are not counting that. But at that particular time, it was nobody. In Maihar, it was Maihar.
Yeah, right.
There was nobody.
Yeah.
It's in a secluded place.
But then he came to Bombay, and then Kamala Shastri came in his life.
1944, he joined IPTA and he was living with his brother Rajendra in Malad. And his wife, Lakshmi Shankar, was a very good singer, meaning very talented. Panditji rented a one room next to him.
Yeah.
Okay? The problem is, Kamala Shankar was Lakshmi Shankar's younger sister, who also came from, I think, Tamil Nadu somewhere. That's where the infatuation and,
I think Ma was there when this infatuation in
Ma
Bombay.
was coming and going.
So she was in Maihar when the infatuation
She
happened.
was first in Maihar. By the time she came here, she realized what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
it
actually,
become
what happened, they were passing notes, love notes. And that was intercepted somehow, and the whole house came to know about it. So then, even Ma came to know about it. And then Rajendra Shankar was very disturbed. And then he got her married to this
Ameya Chakravarti.
Ameya Chakravarti, the film
He was
producer.
extremely successful, extremely rich.
Yeah.
But that gave a Ma a shock. That
So they changed the house from Malad to Andheri. They shifted. Then Borivali.
After Kamala Shastri was married to Ameya Chakravarti is when they shifted from Mala to Andheri.
That's right.
no, not Andheri. I think it was in Borivali.
We also heard about how Panditji fell ill in Bombay and how Ma sold her ornaments to look after him because at that point of time he was with IPTA, he was not earning that much. So would you want to give us a little more details to our viewers about how she looked after Panditji during when he fell ill?
That was the worst time of Panditji's life, you can say, he was running temperature of 106 degree Fahrenheit, meaning so high. And because of the antibiotics, he became so weak that, he couldn't move out of the bed and even couldn't even go to the toilet. There was no nurse. Ma was, cleaning her,
Yeah, I understand.
urine and stool. Now, he couldn't walk. And because of all this weakness, he suffered from temporary amnesia.
Yeah.
He forgot everything. So he could not play. He would not remember when to take the sitar. But Panditji's determination, he still wanted to play sitar. Even when he was not He was so unwell. But he could not remember and he was absolutely depressed. Arey. So Ma switched over to sitar and started playing sitar along with him. चलो साथ में बजाए आपको याद आ जाएगा.
Yeah.
So because he said we have learned both from Baba, so I will play, you follow me, so you will recover your memories.
So Ma actually switched back from playing the Surbahar to playing the sitar.
Sitar.
So as to kind of revise or play so that Panditji
Revive
could
his
remember,
memories.
revive his memory.
And he did. You know, meaning this amnesia was
Yeah,
temporary.
for temporary, yeah, obviously.
He
yeah.
regained his memory, regained his touch. He started performing. Everything went well. Then
And
on.
that was the time when Panditji was in such a depression. He was not getting programs. He was going house to
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
That was the worst time of his life.
Decided to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where the Tat Baba came in his life. You know,
Yeah.
there was a Tat
yeah,
Baba.
Yeah.
So, another story.
And somehow after that, he got a assignment to do music for the Bharat Ek Khoj. Pandit Nehru had written that. And
Discovery of India.
Discovery of India.
So this is after the Tat Baba came
Yeah.
into Panditji's life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Tat
And-
Baba said, please don't commit suicide. A very, great fortune is awaiting you and all that,
And
And
that is where Panditji requested Ma that you should play with me, you should join my group.
Ma played in that Discovery of... but it was an orchestra, so nobody could, it was not a solo performance, but Ma played in that. To
On
help...
Panditji's request.
because to help out her husband. Despite Kamala was already there by that time.
oh, Kamala was back in his
Kamala
life.
was already there in 1956 March. The day Amaya Chakravarti died, the next thing she did was phone up Panditji.
That
Meaning figuratively that the same day, but she didn't waste no time. And thanks to Kamala, Ma was said that Panditji should be very grateful to Kamala. Thanks to her, he became the star.
because she took
She
her
spent
abroad.
her money and she took Panditji. So it was Kamala with her money took Panditji and then he became a overnight star. He was fantastic.
Panditji obviously was an amazing sitar player. I mean, there's
And
absolutely
Ali
no...
Akbar Khan had already, made
yeah.
a platform, which was a ready platform. Panditji took it, at a different level.
Okay, now coming back a little bit, going a little backwards, I mean, in between 1949 and 56 is when Panditji and Ma played a lot of jugalbandis when Panditji was with All India Radio Delhi, right? And that's where we hear or what we read or the interviews of Ma and also what we have read is when the audiences and the critics were kind of always praising Ma's performances more than Panditji's. Now, when we are talking about the relationship they had, both being good musicians and both being public performers, was it creating a deeper difference or a deeper...
That was the single biggest reason. Meaning that a lot of other problems.
Yeah,
Meaning
yeah.
she was very orthodox. She would not put up makeup. She hated parties. She would, those were the, minor things. But the major problem was this. So Panditji's personality was extremely suitable for sitar and not for Surbahar.
Yeah, that is when he went to the palace, Maihar Palace, and took his Surbahar with him instead of the
That
sitar.
was first. But later on, he played Jugalbandi with Ma on Surbahar. Some 5 or 6, are on record, maybe more. But these are major.
Right.
And almost in every concert, Ma had that was audience interpretation. Ma had the upper hand. Because that was Ma's bars. It was her forte. It was not Panditji's forte.
Panditji never thought that she was born in that house and from her childhood she has been listening to this music and Panditji has come almost 17, 18 years later. So that superiority has to be there.
She was 10 years ahead of him in training.
Absolutely.
She had 10 years more training than him.
Yeah. So when we are talking about, so like you said, this was one of the main reasons of their rift
One
and
of the
their
many,
separations.
one of the many, and the extramarital affairs was a big disaster for Ma. In her belief system, this was, meaning, it was just, she never could imagine that,
How did Ma react to it initially? What was her way of saying this is not okay with me?
She cut off the physical relationship with Panditji. Now, I'm also married, you are married, but no husband, especially in the young age, would tolerate that. And Kamala was already living in Pavlova with Ma.
That is Pavlova. For our viewers,
before.
is
This
where
is
Ravi,
Akash.
I want to clarify for our viewers, Pavlova is where Ravi Shankar stayed along with Ma.
They stayed there.
So Pavlova was the house where Ma stayed with Panditji before moving into Akash Ganga.
Panditji bought this and it was just lying vacant because NCPA was down. So it was very convenient. National Center for
Going
Performing
back,
Arts.
taking you back to where you said Panditji bought Kamala to Pavlova, when Ma was there.
Yes, they were living there. So it was bigamy, meaning not official. And the best part, another woman also came.
Okay.
3 women in one house. Think about it, and Ma tolerated all this for Shubho. Please understand all this, I couldn't have written in the book.
I understand.
Now, one day, when Ma couldn't tolerate it, so she would take Shubho and go to Mayyar most of the time. And these 2 females had a hand-to-hand fight, and that was so bad that neighbors had to call police. Think about it. And Panditji had to choose between Kamala and the other female. I can't remember the name. Maybe I've written somewhere. And not important, meaning she's of no consequences. But she was asked to leave. And then it was all Kamala for quite a few years. Till 1981 or something, it was Kamala all the way.
Kamala was, because 1967 is when he went to the US with Kamala Shastri. Then she was Kamala Chakravarti already.
So Kamala, we have to give credit, meaning mentionable contribution to Panditji's success.
She definitely helped him go to the US financially.
And she was a good wife. Whatever she was a good concubine, wife, whatever you call her.
Good partner.
Good partner, yes.
Now, the famous, the vow or the infamous vow or the vow which actually stopped Ma from playing. Now, Panditji was already having his affairs. He already had extramarital affairs. What was the reason he insisted that Ma take that vow?
No, he didn't insist. He was very smart. He didn't insist.
He did not insist on her, but Ma only thought that, if this is the reason for his unhappiness, she should avoid playing so that he's happy.
So you were talking about something about him taunting her.
Yeah, he used to keep taunting her all the time.
That you are the single biggest hindrance between me and my stardom.
He actually said this words?
He said that multiple times. So see, that's the thing, I don't care for stardom. For me, it's a worship. That's what my Baba taught me. My music is that. I'll stop performing. Anyway, I don't like it all. She thought that would save her marriage. But Panditji said, no, you are just saying that, but then you will play. So she took the vow to convince him. And the moment she did that, on a photo of Shadaba and her father Guru, Baba, Panditji says in few days, flew away with Kamala Chakravarti.
So he really didn't have an intention of staying with her.
No, he just wanted to get rid of, a rival. That's it. This is narcissism, like Dr. Rashid Chet explained us. Narcissists don't like anyone whom they can't dominate, whom they can't manipulate, and if there is any rival, they can't tolerate any rivalry. Be it son, be it Ali Akbar Khan, be it anybody. They can't. I give you a very small example of narcissism, how it is. Panditji for the very first time went to USA, America. Yehudi menu, arranged everything. And he cut his first long play vinyl record.
Yeah.
Who was the tabla player? Chatur Lal. you know. Now Chatur Lal, why suddenly disappeared from the scenario? He was the person who travelled with him to his very first visit, foreign tour. Chatur Lal cut an album before Panditji's album was, produced. Panditji got so angry. How can you do this? Chatur Lal said, कि आप सितार player है, मैं तबला player हूँ. Just tabla solo and the basic tal. That too, Yehudi Menuhin's idea it was.
Oh.
So he just agreed to Yehudi Menuhin. Panditji didn't say a word to Yehudi Menuhin, but asked Chatur Lal to go home.
And
He
that's
was
how.
ousted from the Pandit Ravi Shankar camp forever. And he saw that, Ali Akbar Khan also don't take him. So that was the end of Pandit Chatur Lal. He was, Allah Rakha Khan Sahab has told. And I have the eyewitness. If Panditji was wearing, one particular kurta, and even Allah Rakha Khan Sahab wore the same, you can't wear this if I'm wearing this. So you have to go to green room and change. Someone gifted that buttons, that Bengali people with the diamond and the... Not Bengali, all the people they wear. So someone gifted both Allah Rakha and Panditji. So Allah Rakha was very happy and, in the next concert he wore this. Panditji also wore this. Pandit said, don't, if I'm wearing, you don't have to wear this. So he went and he removed and came back. So Allah Rakha was great.
Interesting, yeah.
He was great, no doubt. But his greatness was that he could handle Panditji's tantrums.
True, very true.
Yeah.
Very true, yeah.
You think the younger generation of Jakir and all that could have tolerated all that?
That is, and one anecdote that you also shared, which I would also like to. I have said that in the earlier episode, but I would want to repeat again. When Ali Akbar Khan himself said that he used to turn down my microphone.
Everyone. That's the reason he stopped playing with Panditji and started playing with Nikhil Banerjee.
Correct. And this narcissism of his carried on to their son Shubho as well.
If a person, an artist, is not narcissist, he can't perform. A degree of narcissism is a must to be a performer. Meaning, I've met hundreds and hundreds of artists in film industry, in music. It is not possible to go on stage and perform without certain degree, healthy degree of narcissism.
Healthy is the operative word here.
Healthy is, again, who decides what is healthy, Now,
Yeah. Now we'll come to Shubho. Like we understood the reason, like we already discussed, the main reason why Ma took the oath was to save or trying to save her marriage. Only on the other side, we had Panditji, who took this as an opportunity to maybe take care of a rival who was as good or superior to him. Just to summarize, and this narcissism of his, or like you said, many other artists, but it also went to their son Shubho, who actually met with a very tragic end, which was a result of the rivalry he had with Ma, or the narcissism he had about himself, that a very young soul actually could not flower the way he could.
We have heard the recordings of Shubho and Ashish Da. In this very house, in this very room, there was a spool player in those days, Roshiji had. So Ma used to test us.
Right.
She had many spools, especially of his caliber, meaning, hum to kya? Ye suno. So I knew how to operate, so बोलना नहीं, ये राग कौन सा है, ये ताल कौन सा है, that was easy. Most difficult was कौन बजा रहा है. Now spool, nothing is written. So someone said Nikhil Banerjee, someone said Panditji, all those kind of comments. And suddenly Shami Muhammad, Panditji's, one of the nearest disciple, closest, walked in this house. He used to come very often to, seek monetary help from Ma. And जैसे माशाल्लाह क्या पंडित जी ने बजाया है. Okay, so Ma just said this till the spool ended. किसने बजाया? पंडित जी के सिवाय कौन? वो तो पुराना बाजे जब मैयर के जमाने में थे. वो आजकल तो कौन है बजाता है? क्या बजाया पंडित जी का? क्या हाथ है, क्या सुर लगता है? पंडित जी नहीं, शुभो है. In 30 seconds he left the house and went away.
Shami
In
Mahmud.
30 seconds he was out. Took a beeline out.
And Shami was very close to Pandit.
He was, you can say, shadow of Pandit ji.
Ah.
जो भी पंडित जी करता था, he would try to imitate him and all that, meaning that's the way he was.
Now coming back to Shubho, Ma said that this is Shubho and Shami Mahmud left.
He was shocked. क्या बोले? भाग गए सीधे यहाँ से. He was shocked. ये बजाते थे शुभो, और फिर क्या हुआ?
And that's how the rumor started. Reached to Pandit Ravi Shankar ji that Ma is training Shubho to overcome Panditji's playing.
At that time, Pandit ji was accommodated in Natraj Hotel, Marine Drive, so not so far from here. Pandit ji called Shubho to the hotel with Sita, and there was a private baithak, and he asked him to perform.
And Ma had
warned, it's a trap, don't go one.
Yeah.
If you go, don't go with Sita.
Yeah.
And even if you go with Sita, don't play. And all the three commands he
ignored.
disobeyed. Ignored. He played. And next day the journalists are, see, Shubho, no matter how great he was at that point in time, was no match for Pandit ji. Now, just see the number of years and, the experience and all that. We are not saying Shubho was better.
Yeah.
But journalists wrote, a star is born, the sun is going to outshine even the father, and this is the... Khatam. Panditji's Nasi, that green-eyed monster, was awakened. Khatam. That one journalist stupidity, father-son relationship, khatam.
Not really, maybe
No,
for that one
I'm not
report.
blaming
He had already
journalists.
heard reports in the musical circles. He had gone to the musical studio.
I am not blaming the journalist,
Yeah.
but that was the trigger point.
There's a trigger point. There were a couple of triggers.
Yeah.
तभी नहीं होता तो 6 महीने बाद होता, because by then Shubho would have again become more famous. But you rightly said, it kind of triggered, or the green-eyed monster kind of rose once again. And this time it was his son. For the remaining part of the interview, please join us on the next episode of The Pathbreakers. Thank you.